Listen, chosen ones. The spiritual veil is thinner than ever, and something huge is unfolding in the heavens. Those who are awake can feel it, the shift, the divine movement, and the arrival of messengers sent by God. The four angels are here, and this is not just a symbol or metaphor. They bring real messages that will change everything you thought you knew. For generations, these truths have been hidden, but now is the time for them to be revealed. This message is not for everyone. It's not for those still trapped in comfort and illusion. This message is for you, the 144,000, the ones chosen before time began. If this resonates deeply with you, if your spirit stirs with the feeling that you're meant for something greater, then this message is for you. Comment 999 below is a declaration that you recognize the divine call on your life. Have you ever wondered why your path is different? Why your journey feels heavier, lonelier, yet filled with undeniable purpose? You've seen what others cannot see, felt burdens that few can understand. You've faced rejection and relentless challenges. But this is no accident. From the very foundation of the earth, God set you apart for something extraordinary. The time of preparation is over. The four angels bring not comforting words, but divine commands that will awaken your spirit to a whole new level. Their messages will confirm what you've long suspected, and ignite a transformation that will change your life forever. Are you ready to hear them? Because once you do, nothing will be the same. Before we dive into these revelations, I want to express my deepest gratitude to those who have supported this mission through super thanks. Your faith and generosity aren't just donations, they are acts of divine alignment. May God bless you in ways beyond your imagination. Now, prepare yourself. These four messages aren't just knowledge, they are calls to action. Once you hear them, there's no going back. Are you truly ready? The moment of awakening is here. God's chosen ones, the 144,000, have been called. The four angels have arrived with four powerful messages. Message 1. Look at your life. The world has deceived you from the very beginning. The first angel brings a truth that challenges everything you thought you knew. You've been taught to accept a version of life that was never meant for you. From the moment you were born, society placed expectations on you. What to want, what to chase, what to value. But have you ever questioned whether these were truly your desires? The world has created illusions so powerful that many never wake up from them. False hopes, empty pursuits, meaningless struggles, all of this is part of the deception. Distractions have been placed in your life to keep you from realizing who you truly are. But now it's time to open your eyes. Look past the noise, the endless distractions, and the burdens placed on you. When you remove all of that, what's left? Who are you beyond the labels, roles, and expectations that others have imposed on you? You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to blend into this world. That discomfort, that feeling of not belonging, it's because your spirit was chosen for something greater. Jesus himself said in John 15:19, "If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world." That deep longing you've always felt, that sense of knowing there's something more, it's the call of your divine destiny. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try to fit into the world's ways, it never feels quite right? It's because you were set apart for something greater. Think about Moses. He grew up in the luxury of Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by wealth, power, and prestige. But even though he had it all, his soul was restless. The world had given him everything, yet something inside him knew he was meant for more. When the time came, he had to choose. Continue living a lie in comfort, or step into his divine mission to lead his people to freedom. His journey is like yours. What false identity have you been living under? What comforts have kept you from stepping into your true calling? Look at Malcolm X, a man who transformed completely. Once trapped in a world of lies and deception, he was shaped by a system that tried to define him. But when he awakened, he saw through the illusions. He could no longer conform. The truth changed everything for him, and now, that same truth is calling you. Wake up. Recognize the chains that have been placed on your mind and soul. The world will never truly embrace you because you were never meant to belong to it. Let go of the illusions, the distractions, and the false promises. What remains when all of that is stripped away? The truth. The truth is that you are chosen. The unease you feel, the sense of not quite fitting in, is not a flaw, it's a sign. Your soul was never meant to be confined by the artificial systems of this world. That restless longing within you proves that your spirit was not made to follow the rules of men or to be imprisoned by worldly expectations. Have you ever wondered why nothing in this world truly satisfies you? Why, even when you reach what others call success, emptiness still lingers? The world has conditioned you to chase after success, but the truth is, the success the world defines is nothing more than a golden cage. A life spent chasing wealth, power, and status may look fulfilling on the outside, but on the inside, it often leaves the soul suffocated by anxiety and dissatisfaction. Look at the countless celebrities who seem to have everything but still fall into despair. Robin Williams, one of the greatest comedians of all time, brought joy to millions, yet privately battled a deep, painful void. His story is a reminder that worldly success doesn't guarantee happiness. The world teaches you to seek approval, to measure your worth by what others think of you. But seeking validation from others is like being tied down by a leash, keeping you stuck in the expectations of people who don't see your true potential. Jesus warned about this in John 12:43, saying, "They loved human praise more than the praise of God." If you live for the applause of others, you'll always be at their mercy. Is that the life you want, controlled by the judgments of those who can't see beyond the surface? Think of Daniel. He refused to be swayed by kings or powerful leaders. When told to stop praying, he didn't seek the approval of people. He stayed strong in his faith, even when it meant being thrown into the lion's den. But it wasn't people's validation that saved him, it was God's hand. His unwavering commitment to the truth reminds you of your own calling. Why live for the approval of those who don't see your divine purpose? You weren't created to spend your days chasing temporary pleasures that only leave you empty. The parties, the fleeting highs, and endless distractions never truly fill the void. The world offers fake joy, but only God offers real fulfillment. As Ecclesiastes 1:14 says, "I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind." Deep down, you know this to be true. How long will you let yourself be deceived? Step out of the illusion. Break free from the chains of worldly ambition and false validation. You were not meant to be controlled. You were meant to be free. There's a reason you've always felt different, like an outsider. From a young age, you sensed something was off about the world, that the way things worked didn't quite make sense. You tried to fit in, to follow the rules, but deep inside, you resisted. That resistance wasn't rebellion, it was revelation. You're waking up to the deception that has blinded so many. Pause for a moment and think about your life. How much of what you believed to be true was taught to you, and how much did you discover for yourself? How many of your desires were planted by a world that never had your best interests at heart? Isaiah 5:20 warns, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness." You were never meant to bow to a broken system built on lies. The only way to break free is to see the illusions for what they are. Think of the prophets and chosen ones from the past. Elijah, for example, stood alone against a whole empire of falsehoods. While others bowed to corrupt leaders, Elijah saw through the deception. He was mocked, hunted, and isolated, but he refused to conform. Because of his faith, God revealed truths to him that others couldn't see. Have you ever wondered why you often walk alone or see things others ignore? Perhaps like Elijah, you were chosen to see beyond what others can. Spiritual sight comes at a price. To fully embrace the truth, you must let go of every illusion that's holding you back. What are you holding onto that no longer serves you? What mindsets, habits, or relationships have kept you asleep when you were meant to be awake? Look at Jim Carrey, one of Hollywood's most famous actors. At the height of his success, he admitted that fame, money, and accolades felt hollow. He said, "I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer." His words echo the truth the first angel is revealing to you now. What you once thought would fulfill you has only left you searching for more. This is your moment of reckoning. Heaven is waiting for your response. Will you stay tangled in the falsehoods of this world, or will you embrace the truth that has been placed before you? The first revelation has been given. Now, you must decide. Message 2. Stand apart. Do you see it yet? The world does not love you because you were never meant to fit in. You've spent years wondering why people mock you, misunderstand you, or push you away. But this rejection is not random. It's not a curse, it's confirmation. They sense something in you, even if they can't describe it. They see something in you that unsettles them because it doesn't conform to their ways. So, they turn against you, not because you've done wrong, but because you don't belong to them. Jesus said in John 15:18-19, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you." Have you ever wondered why some people feel uncomfortable around you, even when you say nothing? Why some turn against you for no reason at all? It's because you are different, and they can feel it. The darkness that rules this world recognizes the light in you and fears what you will become if you fully step into your calling. Think of Joseph, the dreamer. His own brothers despised him, not because he harmed them, but because they sensed God's favor upon him. His very existence threatened them, so they betrayed him, sold him into slavery, and thought they had destroyed him. But what they meant for evil, God used for good. Genesis 50:20. What if your rejection is actually your redirection? What if every betrayal, every loss, and every misunderstanding was God's way of setting you apart for something greater? Even in modern times, think of Nikola Tesla, a brilliant inventor far ahead of his time. The world resisted him, mocked him, and tried to erase his contributions. Why? Because he saw things others couldn't, and that insight threatened the powerful. For that, he was cast aside. But history remembers him now, and his story is a testament to the truth that often, the world's rejection is a sign you're on the right path. The world may not celebrate you right now, but you were meant for something greater. The darkness has known this since the moment you were born, which is why you've faced constant struggles. But don't mistake opposition for failure. It's actually proof that you carry something the world doesn't understand. The real question is, will you let their rejection define you, or will you rise and fully step into who you are meant to be? Chosen one, listen carefully. Every moment of isolation, every season of loneliness, every time you felt like an outcast, it's all part of a divine plan. You were never meant to blend in or be accepted by people who don't see what you carry. From the start, you've walked a path that separates you from the crowd. But have you ever wondered why? The truth is, the world can't recognize you because your spirit doesn't bow to its false systems. This world is built on illusions of power, status, and control, meant to enslave those who don't see through them. But you were born to see past the deception. Your spirit isn't made to conform, but to break free. That's why you've always felt different. No matter how hard you tried to fit in, something inside of you resisted. Jesus said in John 17:14, "I have given them your word, and the world has hated them, for they are not of the world any more than I am of the world." Just as Christ was rejected by those he came to save, you too have been rejected, not because you are unworthy, but because your presence reveals a higher truth the world can't understand. Have you noticed how some people are drawn to you while others turn against you for no reason? It's not about what you've done, it's because your spirit carries something they can't explain. Think of David, the shepherd boy. He was overlooked and forgotten, even by his own family. When the prophet Samuel came to find Israel's next king, David wasn't even considered. Yet, he was the one God chose. While others sought approval from people, David was being prepared in solitude, shaped by rejection. When his time came, he was ready. Could it be that your rejection is also your preparation? Even today, think of Albert Einstein. As a child, he was seen as slow and incapable. Teachers doubted him, and society dismissed him. But what they saw as weakness was actually a mind that worked beyond their understanding. His rejection was proof that he didn't belong to their system. And neither do you. So don't grieve your loneliness or rejection, it's a sign that you are set apart. The false systems of this world have no power over you, which is why they can't recognize you. But heaven sees you, and when the time comes, those who once rejected you will understand why you were chosen. Will you embrace your calling, or will you continue trying to fit into a world that was never meant to hold you? The enemy has tried to break you, whispering lies into your mind to make you question your worth, to make you believe something is wrong with you. But here's the truth, you are not the problem, you are the threat. They fear you. They fear your light because it exposes their darkness. They fear your wisdom because it can't be manipulated. They fear the way you walk into a room and change the atmosphere without saying a word. Have you noticed how people become uneasy in your presence, even before you speak? It's because your spirit carries something they don't understand but instinctively recognize. The enemy knows you have the ability to see beyond the surface, to expose hidden truths. That's why they turned against you. Jesus faced this same opposition. In John 8:45, he said, "Because I tell you the truth, you do not believe me." The world couldn't accept him because he revealed what they wanted to keep hidden. And now, the same battle has come to you. Have you ever wondered why those who once supported you suddenly turned cold, or why those you trusted tried to silence you? It was never about you personally, it was about what you carry. Your light threatened their darkness. Rather than change, they tried to remove you. But listen closely, chosen one, your loneliness was never a curse. It was preparation. Every moment of isolation, every time you felt abandoned, was a refining fire. The trials weren't meant to destroy you, they were meant to strip away every false attachment and every dependency on the approval of people so that you would learn to seek only God's approval. Just as Joseph was betrayed and thrown into prison before stepping into his destiny, your suffering was never in vain. What the enemy meant for evil, God has been using for your good. Genesis 50:20. Even in modern times, think of Oprah Winfrey. She endured rejection, abuse, and hardship from a young age. People told her she would never succeed, but she refused to let the voices of the world define her. Instead, she allowed adversity to shape her into who she was meant to be. Now, she stands as a testament to what happens when you refuse to be silenced. This is your moment of revelation. You were never abandoned. Heaven has been protecting you all along. You were never unworthy. Your worth was simply too great for those who couldn't see it. You were never alone. God has always been walking beside you. The time for apologizing is over. No more shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. No more silencing your voice to avoid offending those who can't handle the truth. The world has tried to make you believe that being different is a burden, that standing apart is something to be ashamed of. But the time to dim your light is over. Stand apart. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them stare. Do you really think their opinions define your purpose? Do you believe their approval determines your worth? You were not sent here to be liked. The great ones, the ones chosen by God, have never been accepted by the world. Jesus wasn't liked, and neither are you. The Pharisees hated Jesus. Religious leaders plotted against him, and even his own people rejected him. But did he change his truth or mission to fit in? No, he disrupted the system, exposed hypocrisy, and fulfilled his purpose despite all opposition. Now, it's your turn. You were sent to disrupt, to shake the foundation of lies, and challenge the darkness that's been unchecked for so long. Have you noticed how those who walk in deception feel comfortable around others who conform, but become uneasy in the presence of those who carry the truth? That's because your very existence is a challenge to the lies of this world. Look at Martin Luther King Jr. He refused to stay silent in the face of injustice. He wasn't welcomed by the system, wasn't celebrated by those in power. He was hated, ridiculed, and ultimately assassinated, not because he was wrong, but because he spoke a truth that shook the status quo. He could have stayed silent, but instead, he embraced his calling. Will you? You've been set apart for a reason, and the time for hiding is over. You've seen the truth, now it's time to embrace it. Obey without delay. You've already been shown the truth. The mission has already been given to you. Stop waiting for another sign or confirmation. It's time to act. How many more confirmations do you need? Moses stood before the burning bush questioning, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh?" Exodus 3:11. But it was never about who Moses was, it was about who God is. The same goes for you. Stop waiting to feel ready. God has already called you, and now you must answer. People often waste years waiting for the perfect moment, but it never comes. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." If he had waited for the perfect conditions, he never would have changed the world. So, will you take action now, or will you keep waiting while time slips away? The hour is urgent. Heaven is waiting for you to move. The world doesn't need another hesitant soul. It needs warriors, those who will rise, speak, create, and act. Those who will stop looking for signs and start becoming the sign. You've been called. You've been prepared. You have everything you need. Now, will you obey? The enemy wants you to stay stuck, afraid to move. He wants you